Just, would you be more specific on how you're going to create jobs for youth, please?
The youth today, there's some really interesting facts that you can find online. Did you know? If anybody can go on YouTube and look at that. You look at the jobs for our youth right now. Anybody who's studying in university at this point in time is studying technological-based jobs. These are electronic, knowledge-based industries. And people who are in school right now are studying these sorts of things. They're looking for by the time they finish graduating, the technology is already changing. The thing is, technology is the type of jobs that youth are going to be attracted to having here in Port Alberni. Now I say 21st century jobs, and for youth, for those students that are going to school here in Port Alberni, the type of jobs that I'm talking about are attracting knowledge-based industries and entrepreneurial type of industries where people are using technology to make a living, and there's plenty of them out there. And I think that by promoting Port Alberni as a destination, again going back to quality of life, one of the reasons why people locate to a new community, whether it be an industry or a family or a retiree, giving them the options here in Port Alberni, the cost of real estate being as inexpensive as it is, there's so many ways that we can do that. But you need somebody who can market that knows how to verbalize that out there to the rest of the world. And the connections, that's what I'm saying, the connections that I've had throughout my life as an executive search consultant, I have the ability to make those connections and make those calls and make that contact. I think it's a really important job for a mayor to actually make sure that the world knows that our doors are open.
Any other responders to that question?
I'd like to talk about cooperatives. It's something I'm very interested in, and it's something that I feel is a very big option for youth. There's a lot of support out there from the Canadian Cooperatives Association and from the BC Cooperatives Association to help people, get their vision together and begin to move through that process of becoming a cooperative. Here's an example. Located in Abbotsford on the Fraser River's fertile floodplain, this 50-acre farm supports farmers by providing affordable land for local food production. Businesses on the farm grow a variety of fruits and vegetables, raise laying hens for eggs, and grow salad greens. In addition to farmland, the co-op also stewards some natural forest and grassland areas, providing habitat for wildlife. The co-op's goals are not only to grow food, but to educate the public about sustainable agriculture and stewardship of the land. We have a valley with 7,000 hectares of underdeveloped farmland. We have all of the assets we need to develop this vision, and our youth will be able to stay home and be employed close to home and work at an ethical job. That is something of extreme value. Thank you for the question.
Just with that, we've been having pretty good discussions with North Island College. I think I met with this president more than I've met with any president of North Island College. We all kind of thought that we got the raw end of the deal here in Port Alberni, that most of the education was going on in Courtenay and Comox. And, we gave them a pretty good deal. We gave them all the land where they got the college for $1. And they've only used a small portion of it. So Councillor Douglas and I have been working with them for quite a while to put in more programs here, especially for the young people. Yeah. And so we are working on that, and you're going to see major changes coming in that. A lot of people who used to go to Malsapino College would like to stay home now in Port Alberni and go to college here. Yeah. And with the technology we have now, we can do that. So we're putting a lot of time and effort into that.
Good.
Thank you. Just to add a little bit there, one of the things that we have done in the past in Port Alberni is we've tended at times to chase economies away instead of inviting them here. Yeah. So I think we need to focus on attracting economies to our community and not chasing them away. And we need to change the perception that some people still have outside of our community that this is a bad place to do business. We need to make sure everybody knows that we're open for business. Yeah. A couple other things that we can do ties in with education, as Mayor McRae was mentioning. So we need to increase the educational opportunities here for our youth so that they can get the training for the jobs. And if we work on the other pillars of our economy, such as the seniors community, and is expanding our hospital and its scope of practice so that it can accommodate all our needs instead of us having to go to Nanaimo and Comox, the youth can work in those facilities as well. So that's one aspect of, I feel, how we can bring jobs to our youth and to the rest of our population as well. Thank you.
Next question, please.
Hello, my name is Carolyn Jaskin, and this is a two-part question, actually, one for the boys, one for the girls. To Mayor Ken and Councillor Douglas, what city council decision do you regret most or would change with the information you have now? And for the girls, what city council decision in recent years do you most disagree with and why? And what do you agree with most?
Who would you like to answer the question first?
I think I have to go to the bathroom.
The boy.
I'll give it a shot. But I'm sorry, Carolyn. I've really enjoyed being on City Council. It's opened up my mind to trying to learn how to make decisions, and it's been a real eye-opener to me. It's been 3 years of just learning how to make decisions, and there may be in the last 3 years some decisions that I would regret, but none of them stand out. I feel that through the help of councillors and talking to people in the community and researching projects, that I've made the decisions that I felt were the best informed decisions at the time, and that's how I'm going to carry on. But the key to it all, of course, is communication, right? And it's communication in all ways, and recently there's talk of expanding our roles, our methods of communication with the community, and one of the ways we can work on that is by having informal town meetings and expanding into the internet and having internet forums so that we can get more discussion going in the community and more feedback coming back. And so thank you for your question. That's the best I can do.
So lots of time, I've been here a long time, so got lots of friends in the community. So I guess one of the saddest things, the decisions you made, is some of your best friends will never talk to you. But that's what life is all about, and we're elected to make tough decisions. That's what it's all about, being a councillor and being a mayor. And I think I've had really good experience in that because I was the provincial negotiator for my union for 10 years, and I was also on a council for 21 years in the union, and we had to make some really tough decisions. And you make them for the benefit of the community. The school was probably the toughest decision we ever made, and it looked like it's been a damn good decision because we got lots of people working there. It's going to be a first-class facility. In fact, we've got some people who are just going to come to Port Alberni because they want to go to that brand new high school, state-of-the-art for the whole country. So, I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of some of the other things, like the other decisions we made as far as University of the Pacifica and swapping land. That wasn't the easiest thing to do with Wolfgang Zimmerman. Wolfgang Zimmerman came to me and he says, guess what, Mr. Mayor, that university's going to go somewhere else because it's not close to an airport. And Wolfgang and I are good friends. He says, you better talk to your political buddies on that board from across the country if you want it to come to Port Alberni. So on that board, there was the president of the Canadian Paper Workers Union, the Canadian Steel out of Pittsburgh, who I used to deal with in my past life, the ex-head vice president, McMillan Bodell. I had to go to their board meeting twice to make sure it was coming to Port Alberni because it was going somewhere else. And from my friends in the regional district on the East Coast, they told me exactly where it was going. So I had to phone the presidents of one of these big logging companies and said to them, if you think you got problems now, you wait what's going to happen down the road if you dare put that university somewhere else. Because it happened in my community and I was part of it. This is where it all started coming. So then you make some enemies too. But it was a good decision because now we have a university that can expand. And we're going to be known for that university around the world. And I'm really proud. That's probably my proudest thing, that we got the University of Pacifica here, that started here, and it's going to be here for a long time.
Do other candidates wish to make comment on that?
Thanks for the question, Carolyn. I kind of wish you hadn't asked it. Because it's an issue that I sort of would like to let, they say let sleeping dogs lie. But you've asked it, and so I feel I need to answer it honestly. And the decision that was made by the council previous to this was the one that offended me the most, and that was at the very last city meeting before that election in 2008. There had been a robbery at the jewelry store, and the person who owns the store had used weapons that he had in his safe. I totally disagreed with that. I do not believe in that type of taking the law into your own hands. And this council voted to write a letter before the police were finished with their investigation. That was what the problem was. It was that the police were not finished with their investigation. And they decided to write a letter to to the proprietor of that store and thank him for staying in business in Port Alberni. And I felt that they should have stayed out of that and let the police do their investigation and not write that letter. It was a stamp of approval for that type of, I don't know, that type of behavior. That's your choice to make. But I think having guns in the safe and taking them out and using them and shooting them into the parking lot was a very unwise thing for that man to do, and it was very unwise for council to send that letter before the investigation was finished. We pay our police a lot of money to take care of us, and I don't think that we did them any favors. The decision that I think was the best was in this council term, and that was when the council decided, after they spent money on a study, to keep the fire inspector.
Stacy, wish to comment?
I think it's pretty well known that one of the biggest decisions that I disagree with council, which has prompted me to take on this challenge of running for mayor, and that has been their decision not to take a stand against coal in our community. Right behind that's the garbage issue. But anyway, the decision that I think is one of the best decisions, it was hard for me to think of it actually because I'm so critical. I was trying to think what was the best decision that I agree with. I think the decision that our council made to revitalize the uptown core was something that was a really good decision for Port Alberni because I had envisioned revitalizing the uptown core back to the days when Woodward's was up there, where people could have pride in going around in our uptown area again and really revamp that area all the way down through. Of course, the plan was to go down to the waterfront. It's really sad that that didn't happen. It's one of the things that I would concentrate on doing. I tried working with the local children at the high school, Paint the Town. That was something that we worked on, and that fizzled away. I'm not going to get into the reasons why, but the whole point of it is that I think that was the best decision that I was glad to hear from council.